Welcome to the making of the 3D printed Stanley Cup. Before we begin, I just wanted to thank everybody who has supported me throughout this project. I've been getting a lot of requests on how I designed and completed my 3D printed Stanley Cup. I've made this short video showing the step-by-step process, so please follow along, like, comment, and subscribe. So I designed the cup to be as accurately possible to pay homage to the amazing history of the Stanley Cup. A lot of research hours were put into this, including over 2,300 names. The cup includes the same errors as originally found on the Stanley Cup. It includes the same typos, crossed out names, just like the real thing. The cup is made up of 36 individual parts and was designed to be updated similar to the real cup. Every season can be updated, and every 13 years I am able to retire the top band and add a new band to the bottom. Full disclaimer, I am by no means an expert. I am a DIY hobbyist with a 3D modeling background. I do this for fun. Note that when finishing the cup, I write down the process and paint used in order to make new bands and keep the finished looking like the older bands. Here's a 3D demonstration showing how the assembly process is done. After long hours of printing, using roughly 6 kilograms of filament, obviously depending on the support structure, I use regular PLA filament, nothing special. Here are the individual parts. The bands are broken down into 4 pieces per band. To accommodate a print bed of 300 by 300, each piece is labeled and numbered with arrows engraved to assist with alignment. The bands are designed with a tongue groove system. The bands are secured using biscuit joints. Each band is numbered from 1 to 4. Similar to the bands, the shoulders also have numbers and arrows to help with the alignment. Here are the connectors, biscuit joints, simple design, bands, shoulders, and the base basically have slots that these would go into. They just make for easy alignment and strength. Prior to securing the pieces, I like to dry fit each part to ensure good connection in the seams. You can sand down some of the raw prints if you see there's large gaps, but don't worry, wood filler will hide those seams nicely. Here with the top tier, pretty straightforward. The sleeve basically slides in and the bowl sits on top of the sleeve. And again, I like to dry fit just to make sure that I have a good connection before I start securing all the pieces permanently. Here's a short clip showing the individual parts as well as a completed dry fitted version. I'll be putting a detailed list of materials I use in the description. I use a standard Gorilla Glue to glue all my parts together. I start by gluing the shoulders together. Before letting the glue set, I'll dry fit the shoulders over the first band to ensure a tight connection. Afterwards, I'll secure the top tier. Drop in the sleeve for strength. And then finish by securing the bowl to the top tier. The bands are then glued together and secured. I use painter's tape to keep the bands together while the glue sets. Again, dry fitting the bands as I go. For the base, I glue using again the Gorilla Glue, and this part is optional, but I use a plastic welding gun to add strength. The base is screwed to the 5th band, and the rest of the bands are screwed in from the inside. The base is screwed to the 5th band, and the rest of the bands are screwed in from the inside. You'll need to unscrew the base in order to access the inner bands. I use regular wood filler to hide the seams. You can also use body filler, though wood filler is just as good. The seams were designed not to infringe on the engravings, but be careful not to fill in the engravings as they'll be very difficult to sand away once the filler dries. Now for the fun part. I start by sanding with a low grit, 80 sandpaper, and then use a higher grit to smooth out the print lines. Don't rush this part. The smoother the surface, the better your finish will be when chroming. I use a primer filler for the first coat, and then use a high gloss black spray paint before I chrome the cup, doing light coats to have a good coverage and avoid causing runs. And now for the best part, using Revel Chrome spray paint, I lightly start adding the chrome. This process will take a few coats. I use roughly 5 cans. Don't worry, the engravings were designed to be deep enough not to lose details while chroming the cup. Just a note, while applying the chrome paint, read the label, make sure that you allow for enough time in between coats for the chrome to dry properly, and again, don't rush this process. Here's a bit of a close-up shot. This is probably about 3 coats of chrome. I'm still probably going to put a couple more layers on just to get a better finish. For the base, unfortunately, I could have made a more detailed video, but pretty straightforward. Once assembled and glued, sanded, I basically just put the same high gloss clear black over it, followed by a clear coat to finish the base. So here's the finished cup with the chrome. The video really doesn't do it justice. I love this product. Having tried and failed so many other methods, there are several ways you can chrome the cup. I just wanted to find a way that was more cost efficient and that wouldn't break the bank. Being a fan of the sport, out of all my 3D printed projects, this one is by far my favorite project. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for the watch. Stay tuned for more projects, and happy printing.